The King is Coming, December 24th. The reading is from Titus chapter 2, verses 11 to 13. For the grace of God that brings salvation has appeared to all men, teaching us that, denying ungodliness and worldly lusts, we should live soberly, righteously, and godly in the present age, looking for the blessed hope and glorious appearing of our great God and Saviour, Jesus Christ. The following is taken from a sermon called The Two Advents by Martin Lloyd Jones. Our great God and Saviour has appeared. There are two appearings. He has appeared and he will appear. This is Christianity. The Apostle puts them together here. They must always be taken together. There is in mankind a very deep and inherent tendency to take parts of him only and to leave the rest out of consideration. But the gospel itself never does that. If we stop at one particular event, we shall go astray. So these two advents must always go together. Some people never get beyond Bethlehem. This great God is still to them gentle Jesus, meek and mild. It is idyllic and they like to stop there. There are others who are intent only upon his life and teaching. They don't care whether he was born a virgin or not, just the ethical teaching. Then there are others that look alone at his death, the misunderstood Galilean so much in advance of his contemporaries, like as Socrates and others, and that is all they see. Others emphasize only his resurrection. They bypass the cross. What matters is Jesus is still alive and can still help us, and that's the only thing for them. Others spend all their time on the second coming and the things that are going to happen. To divide up this great message in that way and stop at particulars is really to miss the message and deny it. Each of the comings have been not only absolutely different from themselves, but from what men expected them to be. The Jewish conception of the coming of Messiah. A mighty person, a great king, heading a great army, a political might, to conquer all his enemies and tower over the whole world. That's what they expected. How different was the event. The same thing is true with regard to the second advent. The world still likes to think of him as gentle Jesus, meek and mild, not as the King and the Lord. There will be some terrible surprises when he does come back again. Christmas tells us to look back to his first advent, to look back at what he has done. The grace of God that brings salvation to all men has appeared 2,000 years ago. Everything about his first coming is characterized by lowliness and humiliation, without the glory, veiled in flesh, as Wesley puts it. You see him weak, tired, hungry, weeping, forsaken. Occasionally there's a flash. He silences a storm, cleanses lepers, raises the dead, flashes of the majesty, the glory through the veil of flesh. He was an enigma. He was condemned and nailed upon a tree. He arose. The grave is empty, even in the resurrection availing, revealing himself only to chosen witnesses. What was the purpose of his coming? To bring salvation. It was only like that he could do it. He gave himself as a lamb to the slaughter, and the Lord laid on him the iniquity of us all. Don't stop at Bethlehem. Don't stop at the resurrection or ascension. He hasn't finished yet. He's coming again. The second coming is as much a part of the gospel as is the first, but oh, the difference between the two. No longer will the veil be there. It will be the appearing of his power and great glory on the clouds of heaven, accompanied by myriads of angels, in flaming fire and vengeance, King of kings and Lord of lords, shining in his majesty and his eternal power and glory, riding the white horse with a sword and the armies of heaven. That's how he'll come. Can you conceive a greater contrast? When he came the first time, the glory was hidden. Every eye shall see him. That's how he will come. The purpose being this, to bring an end to the day of grace, to bring an end to the offer of the gospel and its free gift of pardon and reconciliation and sonship. All brought to an end, time itself will be ended. He will come and judge the world in righteousness, and he will destroy all his enemies, all who spurned his offer of love and grace, all who have rejected him. What is the blessed hope? A new heaven and a new earth, wherein dwells righteousness. Sin and evil and all that is wrong will be gone. The world will be purged and purified. The elements melt with fervent heat, and all that oppresses will be destroyed forever, out of the presence of God and his people. And all who have believed in him and belong to him will be there with him, changed into his image, glorified even as he is glorified. These diseased and weak and decaying bodies of ours, renewed, perfect, we shall see him, and we shall be like him. And the message of Christmas is that as certainly as he came the first time, he will come a second time.